Okay, just want to make sure we're alive. Just want to make sure we're alive. Okay, we are alive. Welcome to the Wrestling Pod. I'm your host, Carlito Santiago, and today we're going to be breaking down the Bleacher Report. WWE continues its road to the Elimination Chamber on March 1st. Monday Night Raw on Monday as his latest qualifying for the men and women as Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio squared off. Bailey and Lyra Valkyria also squared off. Pop up this little thing here. So if you could see, this is where we are at right now. And I found out about the other matches for SmackDown and next week on Raw. So we are most likely to have this scenario play out, just to give you a little context. Damian Priest, Jacob Fatu, and Braun Strowman in a triple threat match on SmackDown. And then here will be Chelsea Green and Naomi. Most likely it will be Naomi. And then for Raw, um, it could just be Roxanne Perez. And for the men's, probably Seth Rollins, but I think it may be Finn Balor, so that Seth can screw Punk. But anyway, let's find out what happened on Raw on Monday. So Jey Uso kicked off the show with another electrifying entrance uh, to a tremendous. Actually, no, that's not what it says. A thunderous. I'm not good at English. It's okay. Jey Uso made another electrifying entrance to a thunderous ovation from the fans of a Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. But Gunther wasn't having any of it. So he came out of nowhere, sweeping Uso's legs from underneath and sending him crashing back first into the announce table. A brawl ensued, with the ring general getting the best of Uso. So, of course, Uso then grabbed the microphone and made it official. It will be Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. I figured that this was going to happen. We knew that this was going to happen. And now it's all up to finding out who faces Cody Rhodes. And most likely it will be Damian Priest, but no confirmation on my predictions for the Elimination Chamber. Gunther returned to the ring, but met him there first. He dove over the top rope and wiped out him and security before standing tall, with his path to the showcase of the Immortals clear. This was a red hot way to start the show, and of course, graded an A. And I agree. Uso and Gunther was destined to happen. It wasn't going to be Cody and Gunther. So we now have to also find out about Charlotte and who she's picking. Hopefully, she chooses Tiffany Stratton. Damage Control took on Liv Morgan and Raquel, and honestly, I could care less about this. But you know, when these guys get in the ring, they're pretty good. So I guarantee it was a good tag team match. I skipped it though. I'm sick and tired of Liv Morgan and her shit. But I got to give credit where credit is due. EO Sky is on some other shit. So there was actually a moment in this where Sky obliterated Morgan with a knee strike to the side of the head, busting her open, and then her going on like X saying that Dom still thinks she's cute. Cool. This one I had to see. Bailey versus Lyra Valkyria. This was a really good women's elimination chamber qualifier. The women's account champion, Lyra Valkyria, battled Bailey for a chance to advance to elimination chamber and compete for the right to go to WrestleMania 41. Late in the match, Bailey delivered a sunset flip bomb to her opponent and attempted to top rope elbow drop. Valkyria got her knees up and answered with a tornado DDT. The role model responded with a Bailey to belly, but her opponent kicked out at two. The combatants battled up to the top rope, where Valkyria headbutted her opponent down to the apron, and then added a top rope leg drop. She looked for the Nightwing, but settled for a roll up for two, as Bailey, of course, sent Valkyria head first and net first into the ropes, then countered an Oklahoma roll attempt into a pinfall of her own for the win. And so, of course, Bailey was going. Plus, Lyra Valkyria is the Intercontinental Champion, so she has a title. She doesn't need it. Opposed to where Bianca has a championship, so does Naomi, and they don't really need to be added in there. So I don't understand. Um, this was still a good match though, and it has the potential, with the potential to be great, but it just missed that level. Graded a B. Then I'm okay with it. Bailey going over was the right call, but creative team desperately needs to do something to boost the IC title reign for Valkyria because it's been lacking to this point through no fault of her own, which is fair. And we could be looking at Ivy Nile and Lyra Valkyria in some little program. It'd be nice. It would have been nice to see Shayna Baszler and Sonya Deville, but Sonya Deville got released, so that sucks. Backstage, Liquid Kaiser approached Pete Dunne, who wanted him or warned him to stay out of his way before AJ Styles brushed by the Imperium member, hinting at a further program, a future program between him and the Phenomenal One. So AJ Styles cut a promo. AJ Styles at the ring cut a good promo in Nashville, recalling the potential career-ending injury he suffered 4 months ago on SmackDown against Carmelo Hayes. The Judgment Day, Dominic Mysterio and Calito, who's me, interrupted with the former verbally sparring with the Phenomenal One. After reminding Mysterio that he's still just raised punk ass kid, Styles cleared the heels out of the ring and set in motion a feud between the two competitors that should carry them through the next few weeks. This worked though. Styles told the story of a grizzly veteran with plenty left to offer professional wrestling. Mysterio talked a big game but got caught in a beatdown that he didn't want. Watch your dick, man. Which he is not likely to go unanswered. For now, though, Styles has a chance to work with and further evolve Mysterio as a worker while combating one of the most over heels on the roster. Rated a C plus though, because that's all I need it to be. I love Styles promo. I love that he's back as the phenomenal one. So I can't wait to see more. This was another one I skipped. I wasn't really interested in the tag team matches. But there is a story to be told with this. The War Raiders, because Raw is war, defended the tag team championships against American Made, Julius and Brutus Creed. The heels took advantage of a monumentary distractor, dir- sorry, distraction and isolated Eric, cutting him off from his larger partner and keeping him grounded. A hot tag to Ivar turned the tide back into the champion's favor as they took turns bumping the heels around. Chance of This Is Awesome, opposed to This Is War, spilled from the stands as fans expressed their gratitude for the work of all four competitors. As the champions set up for War Machine, Julius blasted Ivar with a belt, which called for the bell. So, of course, disqualification. That sucks. As This was a solid match that had fans buying into the near fall slate. The finish may not have been ideal for fans who wanted to see how it would play out, but it keeps the story moving and adds heat to it. So good action, great physicality, and an ending that protects everyone made in this one worthwhile watching. A story to be made, a story to be told too. So we could see more of this. I didn't understand the disqualification finish, but or sorry, I don't like disqualification finish, but I don't know. I just don't like disqualification finish. It sucks. Backstage, AJ Styles and the Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker, enjoyed a tense stare down before the latter said, "See you around," hinting at a championship program between them shortly. Hopefully, we're seeing with Penta, and we're going to see Styles. This is perfect moving forward for Braun Breaker, some new opponents. Backstage, Ripley informed Io that she will defend the women's title against the Genius of the Sky, the Raw after the Elimination Chamber. So Io is not going anywhere in the Elimination Chamber. So just actually keep note of this because this will be one of the reasons for who I predict to win the Elimination Chamber. Okay? So remember this. CM Punk promo and then the main event. With his ticket already punched in and cash, CM Punk took the ring to address Nashville. He reiterated to vow to stab Cody in the front, then aim at a longtime rival John Cena, vowing to beat the legendary star inside the Elimination Chamber in Toronto. Now, Logan Paul, the man who eliminated him from the Royal Rumble, interrupted amid a chorus of boos. A brief back and forth between the two led to Punk promising to put the social media star to sleep if he somehow managed to get past Mysterio. So, of course, Paul and Mysterio rekindled their rivalry with the former United States champion surprisingly dominating the Hall of Famer for a large portion of the Monday's main event. Paul dominated the match with the most part, with the story being his power advantage over the great luchador of all time. Late Mysterio mounted a comeback but failed to put his opponent away. Paul hung around long enough to blast his opponent with the Pulverizer, which is a pretty good name, named as such by McAfee on commentary, to score the win and advance to Elimination Chamber. What sucked about this is that he literally dominated most part of the match. This was so unfair. So the grade's going to go down to a negative. But of course, that's all it can go down to because perfectly acceptable pro wrestling that highlighted Paul's continued growth in the ring as a wrestler, and a reminder that Rey Mysterio is one of the most giving pro wrestlers in this era. Some will hate the idea of Paul competing inside the Elimination Chamber, but this works if we're going to set up for Rollins to get screwed by Punk, only for at Elimination Chamber for Rollins to screw Punk, for Paul to eliminate Punk, which sets up a theme. Paul eliminated Punk in the Royal Rumble. Paul now eliminates Punk in the Elimination Chamber. We could get Logan Paul versus CM Punk at a later time. I almost said Rey Mysterio for some reason. But that was Monday Night Raw, and the overall grade of this had not been more than, of course, average. So as we got our first WrestleMania announcement with Jay and Gunther, somewhat of a great women's tag team match. Bailey outlasting Lyra Valkyria, the first chapter in the rivalry between the War Raiders and American Made. Somewhat of a last night kind of. This is one of the Raws that is average viewing. This wasn't kind of a blowaway show that some Netflix broadcasts have had. So again, thanks in large part of some questionable booking decisions that will be made along. There is some speculations around um, if Punk will be winning the chamber to go to face Cody, or if it will be Cena to win that 17-time world championship. these are two great elimination chambers, and this is what I am looking at, and I hope you guys just take a good look at that. Cena, NA, he didn't have to defeat anybody to get in. Punk defeated Sami Zayn. McIntyre had to defeat Jimmy and LA Knight. Logan Paul defeated Mysterio. Damian Priest will most likely defeat Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu. Seth Rollins probably will defeat Finn Balor. That's if Punk doesn't get involved and screw Rollins. As for the women's, Liv Morgan defeated Io by DQ to get in, which sucked. Alexa Bliss defeated Candice LeRae. Bianca defeated Piper Nivens, and Bayley defeated Lyra Valkyria. Naomi most likely to defeat Chelsea Green, and Roxanne to probably defeat Raquel Rodriguez. And if this is what it is, if this is the Elimination Chamber match, like obviously next week, next Monday, 17th, um, yeah, Tuesday the 18th when I do this again, um, I might have a prediction in. Now, this will happen. I'll have predictions come in like early, and then you'll get a full predictions video or live stream on the Thursday before the pay-per-view. Just know Vengeance Day for NXT. I know a lot of people are hyped. Obviously, Ricky Starks returning, or actually, why am I saying returning? Because it's probably because he's been away for so long. He's been fucking away for so long. But he is now in WWE, no longer having to be the burden of AEW. He can finally shine like he's supposed to. But keep your eyes down on the Elimination Chamber. If this is what I think it's going to be, I do have a prediction for both and how it's going to go. And if it goes anything different, then I'll have to wait until that Thursday. Needless to say, the Elimination Chamber looks pretty fucking stacked. So I am glad that we did this. I know it didn't really um take long, but that was Monday Night Raw. I'm glad that Gunther and Jay are fighting each other. We got new stories on Raw building up. I'm loving the teases between new fights and new storylines set. AJ Styles and his little path of being the Grizzly veteran that's taking on some new stars now. Um, I can't wait to see what happens more. I can't wait for SmackDown. I'll be setting up that stream, and you guys will be seeing me on that Saturday. Next week, I actually got Monday off, so that's perfect for me. Um, if you want, please let me know. I could do a Veterans Day or Vengeance Day, not Veterans Day. What the fuck? Vengeance Day NXT review, maybe. But until then, I will see you guys when I get the chance to, which will be Saturday for the SmackDown summary.